Chapter 5, Principles of Voice Leading in your book, page 71. So if you want to read along on page 71, I really advise that because a lot of the things I'm going to be talking about are going directly from the book, looking at them on the paper and, on Sibelius, and then referring back and forth to the book. So please join me if you would, okay? So we're going to be talking right now about the melodic line, and that is to say, how do we write a melody in music theory, and how do we make that melody memorable? So we're going to just start talking about it and applying it to Bach. Rhythm. Keep it simple. Look at this random Bach chorale I punched up here, and this is the melody of this Bach chorale. It's simple. There's no triplets. There's no syncopations of any real kind. A real memorable melody, and especially ones that you're going to be using in music theory, the rhythm is simple. That's it. Quarter notes and half notes, and eighth notes. Divide the beat, double the beat, but that's pretty much it. 2, the harmony. Every note has to belong to the chord that is harmonizing it. Every note belongs. So look at this Bach chorale. This Bach chorale starts on a 1 chord, B flat, F, B flat, and D. Well, that's a 1 major chord. Well, if I have a B flat major chord here, a 1 chord, if I have a 1 chord, I need to have a member of the triad in the melody. If I have a B flat chord, then I need a B flat or D and an F in that chord. In this next chord, you can see here, it's an E flat major chord, okay? It's a 4 chord. So I need a member of the triad, E flat, E flat, G, or B flat. And sure enough, that's a member of the triad. So every melody note has to belong to the harmony. The contour, simple, conjunct. What do I mean by conjunct? Is stepwise, okay? Stepwise. A melody, there's a little leap here, but notice that it's mostly stepwise. It goes up by step and down by step. Up by step, little leap, and then down. It's simple. The contour is simple. It's not jig-jaggy. It's not like up like this. It goes little up, has a high point, and then goes down. And every phrase has a focal point. That means that it has one note, sometimes 2, but usually 1 note that's the highest note. And in this mini phrase, this note is it. This mini phrase, you have 2 notes at their high point. But look at this next phrase, 1 focal point, and then it falls down. And notice all of these phrases have a nice up then down feeling to them. It goes up and then it falls down. It goes up higher, then it falls down. It goes up and then it goes down. It goes up and goes. That's the way melodies go. That's the way melodies go. I hate to break the mystery. The fourth thing about the melodic line that's a little more complicated is leaps. Okay? First, avoid augmented leaps. No leaps of an augmented fourth, things like that. Any leap that's larger, I'm putting this under 4/8, that's larger than a third, larger than a perfect fourth, that's what I mean, major third, any leap that's larger than a third, a perfect fourth, for example, should be approached and left in the direction opposite to the leap. And I'm going to show you that, okay? Leaps of more than third need to be left, approached, and left, opposite of leap, okay? So I'll give you an example. Look at this leap right here. It's the perfect example. Here's a leap of a fourth. It is approached by step and left by step in the opposite direction of the leap. The leap goes down. I leave by step in that direction. I approach it by step in that direction. Let's look at another one. I know what you're saying. Oh, this isn't leap, but just give me a break on that one. Let's look at it, see if I can find another one. Oh, this one. There's a leap of a third only, but it's left it's approached by step and left by step in the opposite direction. Let's find another one in the melody, just in the soprano line. Let's see if I can find it. Maybe you can find it. You can find it at home, but we have perfect examples right there, okay? Next, when leaps happen, leaps smaller, oh my goodness, smaller than, how do I say, I'll just read the book. Leaps used consecutively, yes. Leaps used consecutively should outline a triad. So this he doesn't like to do it a lot, Bach, because he likes to keep the motion simple, but I'll show you some other ways to do it. I found one, okay? Here, Mr. Bach has a leap, and then a step, and then another leap. But really, D, B flat, and F, as a matter of fact, outline a F major chord. That's how he rolls, okay? And then finally, number 5 here, tendency notes need to resolve. In other words, 7 goes to 1. 7th scale degree goes to 1. 4th scale degree goes to 3rd scale degree for the most part. Okay. And we're going to see all these again. We're in the key of B flat major, so A is the tendency tone. Let's see if he even touches on any A's. Oh, he does once, but this is in a different key, so don't ignore that for a second. This is in a different key. He doesn't even have an A in the melody here. He just avoids it until he changes keys. So we'll take a look at it in our other examples. Don't worry. I'm going to do your homework with you. Page 73. If you open to page 73, you're going to see these examples on your book, but I have them right here in front of us in Sibelius. And you're going to tell me, you and I together are going to do this work. We are going to criticize each melody and see what's wrong with them. Okay, let's take a look at this G major example. This G major example is not a good melody. It's not. We need to see what it breaks. Which rules does it break? Okay, let me just play it real quick. Let's see. Well, I'll do it with you. The first thing that it does is it has a tendency note, a 7th scale degree, that does not resolve. It goes do, ti, mi. That's not a good thing. We need to have it go do, ti, do. That's the nicest thing that we can do in a melody. Do, ti, do. That's nice. But do, ti, mi, no good. Okay. Anyone see a problem with that? Anybody? Bueller? If you found it, I'm very impressed. The 4 chord does not have, in G major, does not have an A in it. It is C, E, and G. That note does not belong to the 4 chord in G major. So that's a wrong thing to have, okay? Let's see. We have a leap of a 4th here. Is it approached by step in the opposite direction? Yep. Then we leap up. Uh-oh. But then we don't step down. We leap up again. That is wrong. Wrong, I tell you. And then I would say in general, see if you agree with me, that this melody has no one focal point. It doesn't have a nice up-down motion. It ends on a high note, the same one that came before it. That's not a good motion. Our motion should be up and down, okay? And this breaks that rule. No focal point. So again, 7th scale does not resolve. Leap of a 4th not approached in the direction opposite and left in the direction opposite of the leap. And more than one focal point. Bad melody, bad. Let's look at this example in B flat major, shall we? Let's listen. Ooh, yuck. So first we have a D and a 1 chord, then a B flat. That's okay. F major has a C in it. That's okay. And then we have this leap of a seventh. Leap of a sevenths are terrible. They're a lot like augmented leaps. No augmented leaps, no leaps of a seventh, no leaps larger than an octave. All of those things are bad. Augmented leaps, leaps of a seventh, leaps larger than an octave. Don't do it. Octave leaps, don't do it. That's a terrible leap. So then we have a leap of a fourth, and it's a augmented leap. It's not left in the direction, approaching the direction opposite of the leap. What else do we got here? Terrible focal point. The highest note and the highest note come at the beginning and the end. That's not the shape we want. We want a singular high focal point. Terrible melody, just terrible. Let's look at this one in D minor. D minor is a key that we would use, so the same applies to minor as it is major. D, F. Let's listen to this melody first. Ooh, some terrible work there. So we have a 1 chord, a 4 chord. Interesting. What's wrong with that 4 chord? Well, I don't think that note is in the 4 chord in D minor. The D minor 4 chord is G, B flat, and D, if I'm not mistaken. And this is not that. Okay, that's an F in there. Blah, blah, blah. You have this note. Okay, that's all fine and good. But then you have a very odd leap of a fifth that is not approached and left in the direction opposite leap. You have another leap here that's not approached and left in the direction opposite leap. You have an augmented interval, a B to a C. Well, I guess it's not an augmented interval, but it's still an awkward interval. This should be raised. What am I missing here? Can anyone tell me for the bonus point what I'm not doing? There's some other thing I'm missing. Terrible focal point again. There's one high note, but it comes at the beginning. Another terrible melody. So the question's going to be, can you write a melody given those circumstances? And the answer to that question is absolutely. Bach did it too many times to believe. I just poured this random one off of the internet. Let's listen to it. This is a chorale. I'm pretty sure he didn't break one of the rules. One of the rules that he helped to create, whether he knew it or not. Here's the melody. And these rules don't apply to the bottom lines. They don't apply to the bottom lines. They don't apply to the bottom lines. Check this melody out. Oh, I love that last phrase because it's a little too stepwise for us, but nothing wrong with a little fa mi re do. The melodies need to be kept simple, and this is where a lot of people are going to start trying to fight the powers. They're going to start trying to be different. We don't want to be different. This is sort of like a color by numbers. Okay, I tell you where the notes go, and you kind of put them there. So we're going to do some exercises on page 73 that are going to challenge you to use, to write a melody given a certain harmonic framework.